Let's see if my microphone's working too. It seems to be working. Good, good, good. This is good. Let me pull up the chatterizers to see how the thing is thinking, to see what the thing is doing. Is it doing? All right, it's doing. Is it flying? All right, it's doing. Okay, get this out here. All right. Well, welcome to the stream. It's all about Dad. If you didn't already know, that's all it's going to be about. Nothing else. Only my dad. Because it's Father's Day and my dad is the best. And I paid tribute to my mom on Mother's Day. So the only thing to do would be to pay tribute to Dad on Father's Day. So we're gonna do basically the exact same thing, and it's gonna be great. And I got some Bible verses and some things that I like about my dad, and we're just gonna, and then we're gonna end the stream, and then we're yay, Dad! Shout out to my mom who got my dad in the stream so he could see it. That's hella exciting. But yeah, it's gonna be it. I might play games later if anybody else would like to join in for that. I don't know what I'm gonna play. I also might just not stream. But anyway, without further ado, golly, where do we even start with Dad and how he's just impacted my life just so much? Like, first of all, Dad, thank you for being my dad. Thank you for putting up with impatience and like legitimate violence, like punching my car at times and stuff like that, and just leading me in the way that I should go, and really not being afraid to discipline, even when that would suck, because I I didn't really have like the greatest attitude and all, and I was a hard-headed kid, and thought I could do my own thing whenever I wanted to. So thank you for getting me on the right course. Thank you for not uh, like bowing down to how unruly I was when I was a kid, because I wouldn't have turned out the way I did today. I would be a different person, that is for sure. And I just can't thank you enough. And I'm so grateful that you're my dad. Like, I mean, I'm one of those kids who can't imagine any other set of parents, whether it's my mom or whether it's my dad. Like, you guys are both like so good, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And man, you provided for me so well. I mean, trips to Hawaii, Dad, just because you were, that's where your business was. You had to go to Hawaii, so you were like, hey, you want to come to Hawaii? And we were like, yeah. And then you were like, all right, got it. And that's just so cool. And I'm so grateful that we got to share those memories. And, I got to swallow salt water in Hawaii at 5. Like, what a great time. But, yeah, in that, I just can't thank you enough for uh, really for the leadership that you display, like, constantly, and the way that you just fill me up with um, confidence. Like, I might go to mom. You go to mom for comfort, but you go to dad for confidence, because that's what dads do. Dads just fill you up, and you could be down, and you might not even accept it in the moment, but your dad will tell you the best, and you'll start believing it. Trust me. Your dad is anything like my dad. I'm fumbling through. I'm eventually going to find the page I'm looking for. All right. I found. All right, so the first verse I got, I was going to have a nice segue, and then I kept saying compliments about that, and now it's destroyed. Well, the first verse is Proverbs 1, 8, and 9. It says, "My children, listen to your father when he corrects you." I kind of read that out of order. "My children, listen when your father corrects you. Do not neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck." And dang, the part to focus on there is obviously to listen to your dad, duh. But this second part is the thing that I'm more focused on, is for what you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. And man, oh God, Dad, I talk to so many people who are, I don't know, they either didn't listen to they don't respect their dads, or they just don't have a good relationship with their dad, or they just don't want to listen to their dad, or they they do any amount of things. And I have just seen you and what you do and the way you've lived and how you've done the things you've done. And I've watched this for so long, and I can say nothing but the fact that I want that stuff. And I want to move and operate how you move and operate, because I mean, it says here, what you learn from them will be a crown and a chain of honor. But what is not said there is that you don't get somebody who doesn't have a crown and a chain of honor. So, Dad, like, you paved the way to get these things, to learn this wisdom, to know what honor is, and be just a person that I want to be. But you were it first, and so I took it from you, and I just can't thank you enough from that. I mean, I feel, I don't know, I probably only have a tiara, but I can feel the crown growing with the wisdom that you keep putting into my life, and through our relationship that I just love so much. And I can't thank you enough for that. Follow me to quick stop, just Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22, 6. It says, "Direct your children on the right path, and when they are old, they will not leave it." And that goes into this first verse over here. But man, through forcing me to go to so many um, camps, church camps, and other things that I would do. Church services on Wednesday, or I'm trying to think of things that don't revolve, that aren't church, because I know there were things before, like you forced me to do basketball for a year. You forced me to learn the piano for a year. But there were many other things that you directed me into, and I think they all contribute. All those little things back in the day, whether it was baseball when I didn't want to, or all these things, because I know that I didn't want to do things. But you kept me doing them, and they all set me on the right path. And they've all kept me in a great relationship with God. Even when I haven't been going to church, I've had this foundation. And even when I haven't been being a good Christian, there's been this bedrock, this faith that's, it might get covered up with a whole bunch of stuff, but deep down on the inside, there is there's a foundation that is way deep in my life and in my heart, in my soul and my spirit. Get off me. Um, and basically, you directed me on that path, and you're the reason that that's built in a lot of ways. Mom's in there too, but this is about dad today, okay? So we're just going to talk about dad, and dad, you are responsible for a lot of that. And I can't thank you enough because I see things um, for what they are. I see through lies. I read between the lines. I pull covers up. Like, you're the whole reason that I am this way, and I thank you so much for it, Dad. I'm not really putting into words how you put me on the right path, but my God, you did it, and I love you for it, Dad. You're so great. Thank you for living how you did live, even to do things that I'm not willing to do, like stop drinking beer. Like, I'm pretty sure that would have be a great. I mean, even if it was just that I didn't spend money on it, it would be pretty great. But I think beer is delicious. So, oops. um, we got Samuel 7, 2 Samuel. My bad. Um, 7, 14, and 15. Okay, here we go. 14 and 15. Here we are. I will be his father, and he will be my son. If he sins, I will correct him. If he sins, I will correct and discipline him with the rod, like any father would do. But my favor will not be taken from him, as I took it from Saul, who I removed from your sight. Now, the application for this one's a little trickier, but what's in here is that because you lived in such a great and righteous way, Dad, and I saw the glory of God in your life, and even when I couldn't relate it to God's glory, it looked good, and I wanted it. So that led me in a relationship with God, which in that relationship with God led me to this. If he sins, I will correct him and discipline him with the rod like any father would do. But if you have the fear of God and you're trying to live with God and you're trying to be God's friend and you're trying to have a relationship, you're not fearful of God's discipline because God's discipline makes you grow. It brings fruit in your life, and it might be discipline over something very small, something that people wouldn't even consider a sin, but God is speaking to you, hey, I want to bring you up to a new level in this. And it came from you, Dad. Like, it came from seeing you always walk around with your Bible. It came from devotionals being everywhere in the house. It came from worship music playing at all times and just looking at your relationship with God and seeing that you didn't fear what God had for you because you loved God and you were seeking God. So why should you fear? Because you're in a good relationship with God. And that is what's in here. I will correct and discipline him with a rod like any father would do. And you did this too, Dad. Don't think you didn't. But this next verse, but my favor will not be taken from him as I took it from Saul. Now, I'm only going to relate the first half of that, obviously, because it's about Saul, but I truly believe that if you live a relationship with God like my dad has, I think that God won't take his favor from you. There might be trials and tribulations. Your life might look like Job for a little bit, but God's got his hand of favor on you, and he'll keep it there. And you don't have to be fearful of discipline uh, because you're trying to love, you're trying to be David, you're trying to be after God's heart. So it's like you don't discipline somebody who you love and who's seeking. Like if you have a girlfriend or a wife and they're trying to love on you, you don't discipline them. And that's what's in here. And that's like even the reading between the lines thing that I was talking about earlier. And it's so good. And again, Dad, I learned this from you. Because you always had your Bible. How many times at the lake house you'd fall asleep just like this? You feel me? You get it? Oh my God! Somebody tell him he's the best. Somebody tell him he's the best. All right, my last. John, trying to go to Thessalonians, and I'm in John. Boy, I didn't think I'd be doing it this fast. I feel like the one I did for Mom was way longer, but I feel like I rambled way more. Who knows? Who cares? First John. Oh, gotta go this one. Really? Do I not know where Thessalonians is? Hey, what's Thessalonians next to? I did the research online. Philemon? Is it in front of Timothy? Ah, it's in front of Timothy. Okay. Okay, 2:11. Second Thessalonians. 2, 11, and 12. Here we go. Is this really it? Maybe it's First Thessalonians. That's not lining up. It's First Thessalonians. First Thessalonians. Okay, here we go. And you know that we treated each other, and you know that we treated each of you as a father treats his own child. We pledged with you, encouraged you, and urged you to live lives in the way that would consider worthy, for he called you to share in his kingdom and glory. And God, I know for a fact, Dad, I know for a fact that you are sharing in God's kingdom and his glory, and his hand is upon you, and his spirit lives in you, and he works through you in miraculous ways. I know this to be so true. For his kingdom and his glory, that you would share, that you would live a life that's considered worthy by God. And I think that I'm on that path. Dad, I know you're much farther along than me on that path.